So whenever we have a new functional group, we have to go through nomenclature. And you do have to memorize these names because we'll use them throughout the next couple sections as we learn the mechanisms and reactions of the aromatics. So I just copied this from the summary document. We have toluene with a methyl group, phenol with an OH group, aniline with an NH2. The next two are related. You have benzaldehyde, which is C double bond O with an H. This carbon right here is called a benzylic carbon, and we'll see that again in a reaction. Benzoic acid is the carboxylic acid of a benzyl carbon. Acetophenone is an acetyl group attached to a benzene ring. Nitrobenzene and benzene sulfonic acid. Okay, when you're going to name benzene compounds, they follow similar rules to what we've had before. If I have two bromines on the ring, this would be 1,3 dibromobenzene. That should make sense, just like we would do with cyclohexane. Now, if I have one of these structures right here, that's going to be my number 1. So if I put an OH here, that's phenol, and I put the bromine in the third position, this would be 3-bromophenol. You can always use numbers, but a lot of times with benzene rings, we use different kinds of prefixes for the substituents in different positions. This position is called the ortho position, one away from the phenol. So of course this is also the ortho position, and sometimes ortho is just abbreviated to O. This position is called the meta, or M, and the bottom is called the para, or P. And again, this is the meta. So you can always call it 3-bromophenol, but many people would call this M or meta-bromophenol. Once you have more than two things on the ring, though, you have to use numbers. You don't group metas and orthos together. So if I have this compound right here and now put a nitro at the bottom and then a bromine here, this now we're going to have to use numbers, and this would be 3-bromo, 4-nitrophenol. So don't use ortho, meta, para when there are 3 things or 4 or 5 or 6 things on the ring. And of course you can have some fun with ortho, meta, para, which I tend to do because I like to break up the class a little bit. And I'm going to put a structure like this, and then you'll have to think about that. What does that mean? Yep, it's a chemistry joke. This is a paradox. Yay! Okay, I'm a loser, but I like doing those kind of things. So sometimes you have a group on the benzene ring that you can't name. So if I have this structure here, that would be, oh, let's make it a benzene ring. This would be sec-butyl benzene. But if I have this structure right here, I don't have a name for this group. So we're going to name the benzene as a group. So benzene as a group is called a phenyl group. So this would be 3-phenyl pentane. Another related group is called a benzyl group. As I said before, a carbon right next to a benzene ring is called a benzylic carbon. So this is a benzyl group. And so say I had this structure here and attached it to a bromine. This would be called benzyl bromide. So if we want, we can try a couple problems. This one is one that I've done in my class before. And it makes people think a little bit, like, how the heck are we going to name this? So I'm going to draw this structure right here. Put in the double bonds. Don't forget the double bonds. It's really easy to forget the double bonds. Well, if you look, we have a trans. They're on opposite sides. This is an ethene. So this would be trans 1, 2 diphenyl ethene. So you just have to memorize these names. Let's try one more and then we'll be done and you can try your problems. So if I have this compound right here and put on a bromine and then put on a chloro, this would be 1, 2, 3, 3 bromo, 4, 5, 5 chloro, toluene.